Good morning. Happy Thursday. This would be a good time to remind everybody. These oversized dampers, this is the 7-pin side of the machine. This is the 10-pin side of the machine. The oversized dampers should always be placed on the 10-pin side of your spotting tongs. This one's a little bit backwards. The other thing that I noticed while I was in here is that some of these are installed on the correct side but in the wrong orientation. The fat side always goes towards the open end of the spotting tong assembly. So we're going to go through and we're going to correct all this. What I noticed here on lane 14 is that the pins were being shifted off spot when the spotting tongs closed. So they close around the neck of the pin and they slightly shift it off spot. And I think that this is contributing to that problem. So we're going to get it corrected and retest. Well, I can't zoom out anymore. But these are all looking pretty good. Let's see if I can. Yeah. One thing to note though, if you put these oversized dampers on and your pin shifts off spot after that, your spotting tongs don't have enough wear to dictate running these. In which case, you can put, like, these are just pieces of zip tie cut down, but put them in the channel behind the damper. One zip tie each side. Don't use two. Two is too many. One on each side. And that should take care of your issue. I was on this machine yesterday for just a brief second for an unrelated trouble call, and I noticed when the machine picked up pins, some of them were placed literally 1.5 inches off spot from where they were picked up, and that's not good. It's not supposed to do that. And then I looked up and I saw we had some what we might call shenanigans on the spotting tong dampers. So we've got everything corrected. We're going to turn it on and run it in diagnostics and observe proper operation. Looking good. There we go. It's important to know that GS machines are not like A2s. They do not firmly clamp the neck of the pin. There is some wiggle room. So, over shimming spotting tongs or installing oversized dampers when they're not needed is actually too much pressure. It can cause the pin to kind of go off kilter a little bit, and they will end up being respotted off spot. A little wobbly, huh? Well, we're getting new pins in hopefully another few weeks. Should eliminate that problem. There you go. Well, we're here, and we have just a few more minutes before we open this morning. We're going to recreate an error code 92, so an invalid state on the GS pin setters. What that means is that your sweep wagon is not fully forward and that your table is not fully up at the A switch. And because you have two unknown variables, the next gen box or whatever processor box you might have can't resolve that discrepancy. It's too many unknowns for it to be allowed to run. Yeah, this isn't a great angle, but we have the setting table lowered on top of standing pins. So we're on the stroke limiter, and our sweep motor switch, our home position switch, is open. Let's hop down and I'll show you a recreation of the picture that was sent to me. Something about like this, right? Sweep's not fully forward and the table is lowered, resting on the stroke limiter. The easiest way to resolve one of these two variables, you can either hop up there and try and manually crank the table back up to home, that's a little difficult. The easier thing is to crank your sweep back forward. It's going to take two hands, but if you gently lift up on the motor with one hand and with the other hand crank your pulley. Actually, look at that. We can do this one-handed. There's no brakes. I think there's supposed to be brakes on this motor. This has no brakes. This is not awesome. Oh boy. Oh, we've discovered an issue. But anyways, the goal is to get this crank arm pointed straight forward, parallel links. That should be good. Switch is closed now. Now we should be able to turn it back on. And because it's resolved one issue, it can resolve the other issue now. I think our annual lane machine tune-up has come a month early. We have torn a squeegee blade. She kind of high-centered right here on the division capping the other day, and managed to actually make it up on top of the capping. So we need to look at our emergency bumper stops too, because that should not have happened. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess. So let's do squeegees. Let's do our cushion roller, and let's put our new vacuum motor in there, and we'll get a jump start on lane machine tune-up this year. We're not gonna rotate this around to show the OEM manufacturer's part number, but you can buy just this vacuum hose adapter, epoxy it down. You can buy this Molex plug. You can buy these special Molex pins, and you can make your own vacuum motor if you know what you're doing, right? It's got to be the right one. This altogether was about $200. These retail on average through a bowling supplier for about $700 right now. So that's a big thumbs up in my book. So I have faithfully and diligently pulled this thing apart and cleaned it every year for the last 7 years. And every other year I put new brushes in it. But the lane cleaner over time will deteriorate the aluminum. And there comes a point in time, which in our case, it's been 7 years. It's time for new ones. So this is gonna look nice in there. Just to prove a point, we're gonna hold down our back test button. Works pretty good. The one thing I can't do is I need two hands. I need to hold the button in and put one hand over here and feel its awesome power. Like this. Yeah, that's good. Well, I think that's gonna do it. We've got a little bit more to go, right? We gotta put our squeegee assembly back in. We gotta put our cleaning cloth back in. You know, we went down the rabbit hole. We kind of did the whole, you know, well, I'm in there. Because all we really needed right now was new squeegee blades. But hey, while we're in there, let's do that. Let's do that. You know, well, we're here. It's less stuff to do later. But we filmed vertically because I thought this was going to be a very short video. And that is clearly not the case. So with that being said, if you would like to see a longer, even longer video on lane machine tune-ups, I broke it down into 3 different videos. Probably about 2 years ago. So you can go backwards in time and check that if you want to see a little more in-depth about this entire process. We're not going to do the entire process today. We do not have time for that.